Well, good evening, internets. It's me, DP Knudten, for another exciting edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done. And that done is the creation of a brand new book by January 1st, 2021. In order to reach that lofty goal in just, let's see, how many days? I think it was 164 days or something left to go. I'm going to have to work on this book every single night, a little bit at a time, so that I can take this mammoth and eat it one bite at a time until that mammoth is done. And that project, well, it's a book called, and you've already seen the image right there, the cover art, NONFICTION BRAND, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the Completely True, Completely You brand you already are. And that's what the book's all about. It's about creating a brand that is based entirely on you, that is completely true to who you are, and is completely you at the same time. That's what nonfiction branding is, and that's what I'm working on tonight. So what am I doing tonight? Well, some nights I write, some nights I proof and edit the book, some nights I brainstorm new ideas, some nights I design, like the night where I created the book cover. But tonight I think I'm going to do some editing, because there are a number of pages or sections in the book that need to be a little bit fine-tuned, a little bit finish carpentry needs to be done on them. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight. So let's hop on over to Scrivener, the application I'm using to actually write this book, and you can see it right here. This main window is where you write, and then this side over here, these are all the sections. So you can see I've got green flags, blue flags, red flags, and just one yellow flag. The yellow flags mean I've started writing there, but I'm nowhere near finished. The red flags mean I haven't written anything. The blue flags mean I think this section is done, but it should really be proofread a little bit. And then the green ones are this section is done and ready to go. At least it's had a first pass at an edit, so it's in pretty good shape. So right now, what I want to do is I want to take this next blue flag and take it from blue to green. And the way I'm going to do it is by actually reading the section aloud. And there's a method to my madness. It's not just me wanting to hear my own voice. It's about me discovering where the obstacles, where the roughness, where the lack of flow lies within the sentence or the paragraph, so that anytime I stumble by reading it aloud, that's pretty much an indication that I should stop, go back, fix it, iron it out, sand it out, and then carry on with the section. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Let's start at the very beginning, the birth of brand. This is not a history book. Well, actually, let me pull this up so you can see what I'm talking about. This is not a history book, but a little bit of historical context can really help in understanding the critical need for branding, especially now. Some people, including a number of experts I truly respect, claim that we are in a post-brand world, that effective marketing now has more to do with tactical sales funnels, perfectly tuned supply chains, optimized SEO, and superior customer experience, has more to do with and superior customer service than branding. Yeah, let me read that aloud again. That effective marketing now has more to do with tactical sales funnels, perfectly tuned supply chains, optimized SEO, and superior customer service than it does branding. Yeah, that's what it needs. Then it does old school branding. I get where they're coming from. Amazon has more or less taught us, or is currently teaching us, that the only brand to really pay attention to is theirs. And they do have a bit of a point. But I think such post-branding pundits have overlearned the lessons of the past 15 years or so, especially when it comes to the number one reason branding was created in the first place. Why brand? In a word, differentiation. Ever wonder why branding is called branding? because of cattle, cowboys, and the fact that it's really hard to tell one brown cow from another. There are a ton of books out there that can go into great detail about the advent and development of branding, so I won't get into the nitty-gritty of it all here, other than to say that to have an unbranded cow wandering around the open range of the American West was wasted opportunity on the hoof. But a branded one, a literally branded with a branding iron cow that clearly showed what ranch it came from, that was worth a lot, especially if your ranch developed a reputation for superior bloodlines and above average care and feeding of what would be considered what would normally be considered a commodity product. And down here, effective branding requires real teamwork and some great looking hats, photos. That physical brand not only identified the cow as yours, it also communicated to the market a whole series of qualities about said cow that could command a higher price. That might possibly command a higher price at market. And that's true even today when Kobe steaks sell for around when Kobe steak sells for around $110 a pound, while USDA prime black Angus steaks cost maybe 10% of that. How is that possible? Because the word brand Kobe is an indicator of quality that has stood the test of time only because it has been true to itself and its quality from the very first day it hit the market. Need another example? Another meaty example? How about that meaty? Example? How about Newski's Applewood smoked meats? I thought that only real cheeseheads, citizens of my home state, Wisconsin, knew of this fantastic meat purveyor based in the incredibly small town of Wittenberg, population 1,081, up north. Imagine my surprise years after leaving the old sod before returning to Spawn, when perusing the menu at a California Pizza Kitchen restaurant in Denver, Colorado, and seeing that a pizza there not only featured smoked bacon, but proudly touted the fact that it was Newski's smoked bacon. In other words, it wasn't some commodity bacon, it was a premium artisanal bacon worthy of the most persnickety foodie's undivided attention, and so valuable to the perceived and so integral to the perceived value of the pizza's quality that it was worth mentioning in the very limited space within the CPK menu. And that's the point. In the world of whatever you do, it's always preferable to be premium. In the world of what you do. And that's the point. In the world of what you do, it's always preferable to be premium. Yeah, preferable to be premium. Nice alliteration. Fact is, there are only two active states in marketing. You are either a premium brand or a commodity product. And if you're a commodity, you are bought for the lowest possible price. But if you're a premium brand, you and your products and services are purchased at a premium. Purchase for a premium. For a premium price. So what are you? A commodity pork belly or a premium product deserving of a corresponding premium price? And I don't like that purchase. In the world of what you do, it's you and your products purchase at a premium. So what about you? A commodity pork belly? So what are you? A commodity pork belly or a premium product deserving a corresponding premium price? I know my answer to this question. What's yours? All right, we're going to give that a green flag. Change icon to green flag. All right, that's cool. How many words? 685. It's still early in the book, so that's cool. I just want to review this for all the subheads. Yeah, that looks right. I'm not sure which one that's in. Let's scale picture. 400. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to work through, read through, edit through this section about the venerable Gary Vaynerchuk. The opportunity on the table. As I was writing various sections of this book, I found myself asking why I've become such a passionate advocate for personal branding. Why now? After much internal conversation, I think I figured it out. The single reason I'm all over this subject is due to a realization I came after listening to the venerable Gary V. Gary and I go way back, or at least he's been on my radar for years. If I remember correctly, it all started with a blog post on Wired.com about this guy in a small liquor store in a small New Jersey liquor store who started posting videos about wine. Back then, the simple act of posting a video online was pretty darn difficult. I distinctly remember reading the article, then looking up one of his videos on a YouTube channel called Wine Library TV, and being terribly unimpressed. The production quality was that of a hostage video. The host, some guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, had all the camera presence of a used car salesman. Something of a let's make him of a long-term of a insurance sales of a, let's get specific here. What type of insurance is like tremendously? Death and dismemberment insurance. Had all the camera presence of a death and dismemberment insurance salesman. But boy, he was sure passionate about Merlot and Cabernet and just about anything wine. Take a quantum leap to the Gary V of today and you'll see a world-renowned, highly opinionated thought leader with a foul mouth who keeps on keeping on with an authentically foul mouth who keeps on keeping on about the incredible power and opportunity of social media. He was right all the way back on the 17th of May, 2006, when he posted the first Wine Library TV video. He saw the opportunity. I did not. He's globally renowned. Me, my dogs, sometimes, occasionally recognize my dogs, occasionally respond to my commands. Seriously, it looks like he was taken hostage by members of the Bordeaux Liberation Front. Since then, he has made one point over and over and over again, that if you think using social media to create, grow, and communicate your personal small business or service brand is only for fast-fingered 20-year-old digital natives, you are completely wrong. And I'm not the only one who heard him say this, who's heard him say this and heeded, and who's heard him say this and has heeded his call. Later in the book, you'll read about a plumber in his late 50s named Roger Wakefield. I was lucky enough to have him as a guest on my Nonfiction Brand podcast, and he shared something during our conversation that made my jaw drop. I have become a student of social media. I've become a student of video. I've become a student of, and I say social media, I mean LinkedIn and YouTube both. A few days later, I'm on the same treadmill watching an online video, and Gary Vee is on there, and he's up in front of the stage talking, and he says, look, I don't care if you're 20, 50, or 70, you can do this. And brother, I almost fell off the treadmill. I stopped and I grabbed the treadmill and I backed it up and I listened to him say it again. And the bad thing is I needed somebody in New York to tell me it was okay to do this. It was okay for me to do this. And that still blows my mind. Why are we waiting for other people to tell us it's okay to do something? I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to bold that. Let's look up NUMBER. I need to look up what episode Roger was in. File, open recent Nonfiction Brand. Episode numbers. Okay. I know it was fairly recent. Leah, Roger Wakefield. I'm going to say it's episode 94. 94. Roger heard the exact same thing I did and had the same reaction too. Look, I don't care if you're 20, 50, or 70, you can do this. That to me was the sound of 16 tons of opportunity hitting the table. Well, what Gary was talking about was the tremendous opportunity social media gives every single person who has internet access and a halfway decent computer. Quite literally, social media gives you the practically free, I'm going to say essentially, free opportunity to engage the Earth's entire online audience. For the first time in human history, you have the opportunity to tell your personal story to everyone online for free. For the cost of a monthly broadband bill. That's the opportunity that's sitting on the table. Unfortunately, most of us choose to leave it there untouched. Well, guess what? Not many young people have picked it up and begun to run with it in a way that puts earlier generations to shame. It's not their fault some older folk can't be bothered to live in this incredibly powerful new world. The question is, are you? If the answer is no, go ahead and close this book and pass it along to someone else who might still have a pulse. When Johannes Gutenberg invented movable type, that changed everything. But the real benefit of that innovation went to the owners of the printing press. With this social media revolution, just about everybody on Earth has their own pocket-sized personal printing press in the form of a smartphone. So what are you going to do with your printing press? Create and grow, or just consume and kvetch? Your age matters not a bit, but your attitude determines the altitude at which you can fly. Don't leave the opportunity just sitting there. Grab your share, take a chance, and dare to be the you you've always wanted to be and already are. Oh, that's so stirring. I am stirred. And that's 3 minutes, 23 seconds. Paragraph sentences. Average sentence length is always 15. Jeez. Man, I am so darn consistent. I cannot believe it. Okay, so this gets the green flag of doneness. All right, we're doing some serious done. And now I am going to look at this section, which is, 3,000. I'm not going to. This is longer, so how many? It says reading time, 13 minutes. I'm not going to take 23 minutes to go through this thing. Instead, I'm going to end tonight's BOOKWARD Bound because I don't need to burn myself out. I need to write a book. And a book is a series of daily sprints that are all part of this mammoth marathon. And today, I did some good sprinting. Felt pretty good. Didn't get a cramp. You know, personal best time, maybe not quite, but it's certainly up there with one of the better days. Put it this way, I wasn't crying about having to be down here, so that's a big plus. And that's what I'm happy with that. You know, not every day is going to see 15 pages finished, but today saw 2 sections greenlit, edited. Yay. And again, that's a first pass edit. There are probably going to be 2 or 3 or 4 more passes on the edits as time goes by. But that's okay because I've got plenty of time to do it. I don't have my thing down here that tells me what episode this is, but I think it might be 135. That's 135 consecutive days since I started this little thing. And frankly, I'm amazed. But guess what? Tomorrow night and I think the day after, I'm actually not going to be live. I will be recording something live, and I will be working on the book live. But guess what? I'm going out solo backpacking because that's one of the things I like to do to recharge batteries. And I'm going to be thinking about the book, and I'm going to be working on the book a little bit. But mostly, I'm going to give my batteries a chance to recharge. So tomorrow night, if you show up, you're probably not going to see anything because I'm going to be off the grid a little bit. And I'm not sure I'm going to have any internet access to actually upload the videos that I do. But if I can, I will. And those videos are going to be me at my campsite doing what I do, solo camping, solo backpacking by myself, which is a redundancy, right? Because I like to go solo by myself, alone. That's triple redundancy. But anyway, the next 2 nights, long-winded way of saying next 2 nights are going to be recorded and posted probably on Saturday. So I'm still keeping the streak alive by doing it remotely, but I'm just going to post them a couple days later. So I hope you'll come back and check those out. That's it for me tonight. I'm DP Knudten with the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out every single Monday. So let's see, today's Tuesday. This week's episode came out yesterday, and it's the second half of a conversation with Jay Baer, B-A-E-R. What a great dude. I mean, I'm so happy with these episodes. Oh, and by the way, this is episode 100 of the Nonfiction Brand podcast. So go back and listen to episode 99 with Jay Baer, the first half, and 100, Jay Baer, the second half. Both of them are great episodes, and I think if you don't know who Jay Baer is, once you listen to him, you're going to want to include him in your follow list on social media because he is that good. So you can get the Nonfiction Brand podcast wherever you get fine podcasts for free, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. And if you're using a client on your smartphone like I do on my iPhone, I use Overcast. Just search for Nonfiction Brand and you will see my face in black and white like this. That's the one you should download and subscribe to. And if you like it, be sure to thumbs up, like it, subscribe to it, refer it to other people, but most of all, review it wherever you get your podcast because that helps other people find the podcast. Do me that huge, huge favor. I would really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for keeping me honest on this project and checking me out. And by the way, anytime you want to, you can send me a note and via whatever platform you're on. And if I've got things configured correctly, I will be able to see it and respond appropriately. If not, don't worry about it. I love you for helping me out. Thank you so much. I'll see you maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but the day after for sure. But I'll be at a campfire. I'll be by a campfire at a campsite up north in Wisconsin. So you guys take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow. Theme music, or not tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying. Theme music. Take us on out. I'll see you next time. Bye.